Imagine two apartment buildings, right next door to each other. Same city, same rent. Let's peek inside the first apartment. This is the home of a person who pulls in $95,000 a year. It looks like a success story. There is a massive 75-inch TV on the wall, a premium leather couch, a kitchen island covered in gadgets still in the box. Closets are overflowing with clothes, many with the tag still dangling. There is even a spare bedroom that has become a graveyard for boxes. But here's the reality. When this person checks their banking app, they get a pit in their stomach. They are 2 missed paychecks away from financial disaster. Now, walk into the second apartment. This person earns just $52,000 a year. The space feels open. There is a comfortable, modest couch, a decent TV. The kitchen has the tools that actually get used. The closet is organized with clothes that are worn regularly. And the spare bedroom? It's actually a bedroom. When this person checks their bank account, they feel calm. They have 18 months of living expenses saved. Same building. One person earns almost twice as much as the other, but the person earning less has 10 times the financial security. Why? This isn't a story about income. It's a story about the hidden war between your possessions and your wealth. Today, we are going to dismantle the consumer engine. Here's a concept that will change the way you see your home forever. Everything you own costs you money twice. The first cost is obvious, the price tag. The second cost is the silent killer. It's the cost of storage, maintenance, mental energy, and opportunity cost. Let's take a real example. That treadmill you bought during your New Year's resolution phase. You paid, say, $800 for it. But look at the space it takes up. In a typical urban area, the cost of your home is roughly $30 to $50 per square foot per year. A treadmill, with the space around it, eats up about 20 square feet. That means you are paying $1,000 a year in rent just to store that treadmill. But I'm not done. That $30,000 boat sitting in the driveway? The industry standard says maintenance costs run about 10% of the value annually. That's $3,000 a year just to keep it sitting there, even if it never touches the water. And then there is the mental tax. Psychologists have found that visual clutter raises your cortisol levels, your stress hormone. Your brain has to process every single item you see. But the biggest cost? Opportunity cost. That $15,000 home gym you built? If that money had been placed in an S&P 500 index fund 15 years ago, it would be worth over $50,000 today. Minimalists aren't anti-stuff. They are pro-wealth. They understand that the purchase price is just the entry fee. The ongoing costs are the real membership dues. So, how do we stop the bleed? The first rule is to calculate cost per use. This is the only honest measure of value. Before you buy anything, ask yourself, realistically, how many times will I use this? Take the total price and divide it by that number. A $200 trendy jacket you wear twice? That's $100 per wear. That's a ripoff. A $400 high-quality winter coat you wear 200 times? That's $2 per wear. That's a bargain. This math destroys marketing hype. That $300 specialty kitchen gadget you might use twice a year, that's $150 per use. That is not a purchase. That is an expensive rental of your own counter space. On the flip side, this math justifies spending more on things that matter. A $2,000 mattress you sleep on every night for 10 years, that's about 55 cents per use. That is incredible value. Now, let's apply this logic to everything you already own. I want you to walk through your home right now and perform what I call the replacement test. Look at an item, any item. Ask yourself a brutally honest question. If this item disappeared today, would I spend my hard-earned money to replace it? Look at that bread maker collecting dust in the back of the cabinet. If it vanished, would you rush out to buy another one? No. Look at those jeans you haven't fit into in 2 years. If they were gone, would you replace them? No. If you wouldn't buy it again today, that item has negative value. It is costing you space. It is costing you mental energy to clean around it. Minimalists don't keep museums of past hobbies or guilt gifts. They sell what has value, donate what can be used, and discard the rest. Removing that weight clears your mind. Here's a pattern I see destroying high earners, the upgrade cycle. Their phone works perfectly, but the new one has a slightly better camera. Their car runs like a dream, but the lease is up and they want a new model. Their TV looks great, but the neighbor has a bigger one. These feel like improvements. They are actually wealth destruction disguised as progress. Minimalists have a strict policy. Never replace something that functions properly. Boredom is not failure. Actual mechanical breakdown is failure. Let's run the numbers. The average American replaces their phone every 2.5 years. Over a 30-year adult life, that's 12 phones. What if you kept your phone for 4 or 5 years, you'd buy maybe 6 or 7 phones. The difference? Over your lifetime, that saves you between $30,000 and $50,000. Now apply that to cars, to laptops, to furniture. The lifetime waste from upgrade culture easily exceeds $200,000. That is not a new phone. That is a down payment on a house you are burning. Why do we spend so much? Because it's easy. Human behavior follows the path of least resistance. If spending is easy and saving is hard, you will spend. Minimalists flip this. They create friction for spending and ease for saving. Willpower is a finite resource. It runs out when you are tired. Spending friction looks like this. Remove your credit card info from every online retailer. Delete shopping apps from your phone. Unsubscribe from promotional emails. Implement the 24-hour rule. Saving ease looks like this. Set up automatic transfers to your investment account on payday. Before you even see the money, treat your savings like a fixed expense, just like rent. The 24-hour rule alone eliminates about 70% of impulse purchases. Most desires evaporate overnight when you realize you don't actually need the item. This next one sounds obsessive, but it works. Count your possessions. Pick a category. Count how many items you own. Write it down. How many shirts do you own? Most people guess 20, but they actually have 47. How many pairs of shoes? The act of counting forces awareness, and awareness prevents accumulation. When you know you own 47 shirts, buying another one doesn't feel like getting a shirt. It feels like bringing my collection to 48. Set thresholds, maybe a one in, one out policy. America is full of garages and basements that are museums of abandoned enthusiasm. The ski gear from the winter we thought we'd ski every weekend, the guitar from the phase we thought we'd start a band. Minimalists test their interests before investing in them. Want to get into camping? Rent the gear for the first 3 trips. Want to try woodworking? Use a makerspace. This does 2 things. First, it reveals if the interest is genuine. Many hobbies are exciting for about 3 weeks. Better to discover this while renting for $50 than after spending $2,000 on equipment. Here is a trap that few people see coming: the lifestyle multiplier. Every major possession you own connects to a web of other possessions. Buy a boat. Great, now you need a trailer. Now you need a truck with a hitch. Now you need storage fees. A simple $20,000 boat purchase can easily trigger another $10,000 in mandatory supporting purchases. Minimalists calculate the ecosystem cost. They know that a $5,000 purchase might actually cost $12,000 when all the multipliers are included. This full accounting turns reasonable purchases into excessive ones instantly. And it works in reverse. Sell the boat, and you don't just get the sale price, you eliminate storage fees, insurance, and maintenance forever. This is the psychological core of financial peace. Define enough before you start earning. Most people never do this. Their income goes up, so their lifestyle expands. They never arrive at satisfaction. The goalpost keeps moving. Minimalists decide in advance what enough looks like. What kind of home is sufficient? What kind of car actually meets your needs? Maybe you decide a $350,000 home is enough even if you could afford $600,000. Maybe you decide a reliable Honda is enough. Defining enough creates a finish line. With it, any income above your enough line flows directly into savings. If you define enough at $60,000 a year and you start earning $150,000, that extra $90,000 is pure wealth building rocket fuel. That is how you buy your freedom. Let's go back to those 2 apartments. The person earning $95,000 is trapped in the destructive cycle. High spending creates insecurity, and insecurity drives emotional spending. The person earning $52,000 is riding the virtuous cycle. Owning less frees up money, which creates security, and security reduces the urge to buy meaningless stuff. The research is clear. Beyond a baseline of comfort, more stuff does not equal more happiness. Yet most people spend as if it does. Minimalism isn't about living with nothing. It's about understanding that every dollar you spend on a possession is a trade-off. You are trading your time, your energy, and your financial optionality for that object. That spare bedroom in the second apartment isn't just empty, it's full of possibility. It's full of options. It's full of freedom. The choice is simple. Do you want to own your possessions, or do you want your possessions to own you? The math is clear, and so is the peace of mind. If you want to break the cycle and start building real wealth, start with just one of these rules today. I'll put a checklist in the description to help you get started. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.